You're listening to the Multiverse Comics Podcast. On today's episode, we talk about the conclusion of Absolute Power and DC's All-In Special. Join us.
So,
Comics. DC Comics,
yeah,
they're just full of bangers right now. It is just
I
so
know.
good.
I know.
Are you back on DC Comics now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I don't have to go around the room. I'm just going to ask Steven, have you read Absolute Batman?
No, I was going to, but then this funny thing happened with my dog.
Oh, no, so tell me about that.
Glad you asked.
Because I was talking to Jason about a scene I misunderstood in Absolute.
Don't worry
Batman.
about spoilers or whatever.
it's
I will read it. I should have, actually, if I'd been thinking, I would have read it this morning, but
But you've read All In?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's start with that because we did a podcast when we first saw the ads for these.
Yes, we
things. Were like,
did.
what is this going to be? We were talking about Darkseid.
We
where,
did,
like,
yes.
where he fit into this
He
whole
was Baby
thing.
Darkseid, and I was asking a question. How did we get from Baby Darkseid to
Well, and
Old Man
the-
Darkseid?
in this one, we get from totally dead Darkseid, like Darkseid's
I know.
soul or spirit, to now godlike ruler of the universe, Darkseid.
I know.
And kids, we're going to be doing spoilers here. This is like our Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes.
We're going to assume that you've read this. If not,
Pause.
go to multiverse.shopify.com, order your copy of
All In.
check the express Zeta Tube delivery option, and it'll beam right to your house. And then come back and listen to us.
That's almost 100%. You go to multiverse.shop for that.
Thank you.
Promotional services provided by the Multiverse,
And
where all your dreams
I'm
come
going to admit
true.
now, I'm going to restate an observation that Sasha on Casualty Comics pointed out when we get into this, because it was something very subtle that I didn't notice about Superman and Booster. It's not like a big spoiler, but there's an interaction between Superman and Booster Gold. And she made a particular...
I saw that.
And when I went back and read it, it stuck out more to me. So
Right.
that's a teaser for...
Okay, just very quickly, Absolute Power. We got the end of that.
We did.
Because I think the final issue and All In both landed the same week.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So, any kind of residual thoughts on that? I was okay with how it ended. I thought the Amanda Waller thing at the end was cool.
I liked it. So there was one little subtle thing they had at the very end, which was not all the powers ended up in the right place.
Yes.
Right?
Thought that. Yeah.
We don't know what's happening
Yeah.
with that
And
yet.
apparently Barry Allen is depowered.
Barry Allen has no more Speed Force.
For now.
Yes, I know. And what's
Yeah.
funny, there was it actually was a headline in my Apple News feed, and it was something like, DC irrevocably changes classic Silver Age character or something. And the article is basically like they've talking about how Barry Allen is no longer the Flash, will never be the Flash again, and this is heartbreaking for longtime Barry Allen fans who've been enjoying his adventures for years and years. And I'm reading this. You know nothing about this. The guy's been dead for 30 years. They just brought him back about 10 years ago, and then he's off the board again. So,
Yeah,
of
and,
course,
you know,
once stays dead.
irrevocably.
Irrevocably.
Nothing is irrevocable in comic books.
Yeah, just ask Bucky Barnes how irrevocable.
Yeah,
it is.
that's right. That's right.
The one thing, and I this is just me trying to get ahead of the story for Absolute Power. I thought there was going to be more of some kind of dark side influence on Amanda. I thought there was going to be some small redemption where I think in another podcast I've said I've always felt like Amanda has a function in the DC universe.
Yes.
More of their, not necessarily Nick Fury, but that operating in the shadows, which is how her character was originally developed.
Yes.
And so to see, and once again, the writers did a fine job with it. This is just a minor Scott nitpick. The fact that she just went maniacal and went over the top
Yes.
because she's just tired of superheroes, that left me a little...
It did seem out of character.
But the temporary punishment fits the crime. Dreamer did what, and we all know that there'll be some quest for her to. It didn't what I am happy is it didn't turn Amanda Waller into a doting environmental philanthropist who now cares about human rights or all that. She knows stuff has been stolen from her. She still believes that superheroes are a bad thing for world stability and all that. So I kind of like that, other than she just doesn't remember whose super secret identities are what. She's really not Amanda Waller got hit on the head. Now she's a nice woman, and then she gets hit on the head again. She's Satan again. The old Keith Giffen, Guy Gardner plot twist from back in the Waha Justice League days.
I thought you were going with, and it shows where my brain goes. I thought you were going with like a Solomon Grundy thing we did.
Every time he dies, it comes
James
back to
Robinson
different.
did in Starman, yeah.
It's still close. I mean,
yeah.
And the Oliver was a deep plant triple agent. We knew because
that was coming.
Oh, you knew it was coming. It's just kind of the way they kind of wrote it was like, oh yeah, no, by the way, it was. Yeah.
Even though you're supposed to be one of the smartest intelligence operatives in the DC universe, you never suspected.
You got beat by Green Arrow, which is not as bad as being beaten by Airwave or somebody.
Right. You're
also, Airwave beat you too.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
no, that's
double secret innovation.
And it's just so happened that whatever they had to do in order to set everything right, cut off the rest of the multiverse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's just happened to be the case
for the moment.
Because now we only have two verses. Yeah. We have a
good verse and bad verse.
We have a binary verse.
That's right.
Yes.
That's called the Elseworld.
Elseworld.
Now,
in-house marketing.
Hold
in-house
on
marketing alert.
Okay, so as much as the idea that they were going to start calling the new adventures of our reimagined heroes in this other thing, the Absolute books, Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, that annoyed me, and we discussed that in a previous podcast as to why. Calling this the Elseworld, I'm like, no, would you guys quit with the whole...
It's really confusing. Also, if you just try looking up on YouTube, Absolute Superman, it shows you videos about all the absolute editions of anything related to Superman.
Yes.
And it's just unreferenceable.
I know.
If that bothers you, did y'all catch on page 1 of All In how many days later it was that they started building?
52.
52 days later, they're building.
Yeah.
I mean, DC, I love you, and I love most of the writers on here, but y'all are really banging the marketing Elseworlds. It's 52 days later, and look, we get it.
They're just ready to recruit people. It took them 52 days to build a Watchtower.
And that's true. And I also...
on the 53rd day, they've rested.
Well, and I also remember in one of the multiverse storylines, one of these titles that came out, there was only 52 Earths at one point in time.
Well, yeah.
And we were hung up on 52.
That's right.
But then it blew out right after that. And then we had the dark version and all that. So,
oh my gosh.
Let's just do a walkthrough.
Hang on, real fast, because
Steven has the next one.
Just had a flash I wanted to tell you guys. So, speaking of Absolute Edition, Absolute Multiversity, that Grant Morrison, we've talked about this many, many times.
Does it have a map?
It has a map.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yes.
Can we make a copy of it?
Hold on a second. So there's an issue where Morrison actually breaks down each of the 52 worlds. And I was trying to remember where an Elseworld story that I remembered fell into that 52, and it doesn't. But then it's 52 in our multiverse, and then there's like a gazillion different multiverses. So it's kind of a cop-out.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah. But you open up the book, pull it out of the slipcase, open up the book, there's a fold-out poster, and it's the map of the multiverse. And I was like, oh, that's great. So I'm really hoping when I finally find the courage to open the Absolute Final Crisis, a hardcover I got, Morrison's map is in that. But I digress.
There you go.
It won't be. Because the universe is... Oh, it should be lovely.
All right, so
anyway,
All In.
We could have an unboxing. We could bring you up here and have...
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. There you go.
Okay.
Let's see if there's map.
In the aftermath of Absolute Power, they all get together and they say, Green Arrow really ticked at you because you were doing all this in secret. He goes, there wasn't a Justice League. So what was I supposed to do? Go call those Titans in?
Oh,
and he didn't call the freaking Titans, though Nightwing, as it turns out, was the one who was taking charge anyway.
Yeah.
So didn't call in the old Titans. And what he does is he goes and he's the secret agent. And the conclusion they come to is, oh, we need a Justice League. And that's where we come to All In. They've been building a Watchtower, a big satellite for 52 days. It's massive. Everybody gets their own wing, the Green Lantern wing, the Speedster wing, the Bat wing, the Super wing. Everybody gets a wing of the Watchtower. And it's basically a new moon for the Earth is the Watchtower. Now, I mean, if you think about it, there's an asteroid the size of a school bus that is orbiting our planet as we speak, and it's showing up as a new moon. Think about what this Watchtower would have to do. I mean, we're going to see.
Sure.
We're going to see this thing bigger than a school bus.
That's right.
Right? So it's orbiting and doing its thing. And it's time to go and recruit members. But they don't just recruit any members. Basically, if you're a good guy, you got some powers or a cool suit, then you get to go and be a part of the Justice League. So Superman's flying around handing out cards.
Yes.
Justice League cards. And the Justice League cards have a little bit of tech, a little bit of magic, a little bit of science, all mixed in and protected. It's how they talk to you. It's how they beam you up, Scotty. It's how they do all the things inside this one card.
It's accepted wherever you
find restaurant.
That's right. Dining and fine restaurants. Exactly.
And apparently Booster Gold has been looking for this card forever because there's a card in his old museum. There was like the blank card. It was the blank card for the unknown hero or whatever. And the future starts to come to pass here. There's a big focus of the story. Shows him being very hero-like, carrying children out of fire. And Superman, by the way, did you see the selfie that Booster does?
That's where I was going to cut. We're hearkening back to the Bwaha days where Guy Gardner sucks. The other thing, I'll go back a little bit. I like going back where they're showing the heroes that are getting the cards, and you see, I don't know if he's going by Speedy or Arsenal, Roy Harper's I'm Back Baby, which is a nod to, I always liked him in Brad Meltzer's Justice League. Jason is talking about Booster and Superman. And I'm long enough in the tooth to remember the original Booster series where Clark and Booster didn't always see eye to eye. And this is where I'm stealing from Sasha on Casualty Comics. Most of the time he referred to him as Booster, and all of those other times he kind of took him as a joke. Here, he's calling him by his name, Michael, which I think is very interesting, and he's very excited to see him. I don't think that there's anything dark or sinister about that necessarily, but it is a definite demeanor change for Booster Gold, because I like Booster. I like Booster and Beetle together. I've always laughed at that. I'm glad Skeets is in here. But there's times when it's almost like Superman's like, yeah, we want you part of the Justice League. And big smile on his face. We really, come on, Michael, we want you to be. I read it the first time, I was like, is he cannon fodder? Are they hoping? I mean, you know, if Booster. Darkseid, because I also remember the Justice League animated stuff, where he is not well thought of there. But I think it's cute 'cause I like Booster. I think the idea that some guy's got a Legion of Superhero flight ring, which that established lore has always given DC editorial a problem, because is there a Legion? Is there not a Legion? What is this?
Right.
One time there wasn't a Legion. There is a Legion. I do take it a little issue when I'm seeing all the Green Lanterns. I don't see my Kyle. I know he's having problems in his other book, but we've straightened a lot of, where's Kyle? Why is Kyle?
We were missing Kyle in the actual Green Lantern book.
We've got that Civil Corps.
Yeah, and I think that's
this week. So,
and I was,
can I just kind of
out this week?
Oh, it did come out.
Yeah,
the Civil War came out.
Yeah, Civil Corps War. I also read I read number 6, which is the start of the actual Green Lantern series one.
But so that, just to kind of jump back, because I did have I kind of two thoughts here, and I don't want to get too far into this. Number one, that whole Green Arrow thing that you were talking about, Jason, was, wouldn't it happen if there hadn't Justice? Stop with this. Stop. Because as I'm reading that, all I can think about is the Bendis New Avengers that came after Disassembled, where Cap and Tony are having a conversation about that. Something amazing happened last night. We all came together and we solved the thing. And the Avengers was always more about this, and we should put it together again. And it's, look, you talk about this whole with great power must also come great responsibility. How dare you you know you're at your best when you've got that team that can basically handle everything. But you keep dismantling these teams. So we got to go our own way. This just isn't working out. The world suffers. Something happens. You get back together. Oh, we're going to do it right this time. Okay, fine. So tired of that. And the second thing is the card. The thing with the blank card from the future, like, what does this mean? Something this is going to have meaning because it's a blank card. I'm like, okay. So basically, this is the Power Girl boob window for the Justice League. It's going to stay empty because it means something. Phooey. Anyway,
I think
but I am looking forward to getting my own personal card because it's a giveaway, I think, with issue 1 that it's a promotional thing. We should have them here somewhere.
I kind of read that as if this card's always blank because we're always going to be adding people.
Yeah.
But I also think in the future, the problem is that the reason why that card was blank in the museum is that it just ran out of power and nobody in the future knew how to change a C4 battery, the little flat watch batteries. They don't have that technology.
Oh, I always assumed it would be like a USB-C plug-in or something.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
that was
the 30th century.
That was the problem.
They're so far beyond that.
Yeah, you come to find out there's actually a little thing. You put a key and just wind it like a watch because you didn't want anyone taking over advanced technology. And there you go.
I'm sure when we get that Elseworlds series for the Justice League back in the Wild West, that's exactly what we're going to see. Steampunk Justice League with their wind-up or gas-powered Justice League cards.
Ooh, you know what
the card is the size of a credit card, but the battery for it is the size of a lawnmower.
Yes,
So this image from inside of, right here, this image from inside of the museum where Booster is, Dark Crisis. It's a Dark Crisis cover.
At the back, you look at that.
Right.
Yeah. So who knew about Dark Crisis, freaking Booster? Should have done something about that.
There's a long list of things that Booster knew. If we're going to go there, probably that...
we're stepping over our tails again, folks. It's the whole Iris West.
Yeah.
I can't hang out with you guys because I know what happens and I don't want to change anything. Oh, something happened that I don't know about that. Oh, I can start to talk to you now because clearly the future has changed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm not bitter.
I like Booster, and I like Booster being in a place of prominence. The coming together of the heroes was pretty fun, and I thought it was just this joyous occasion. Everybody's excited and having a good time. They all get together, and then all of a sudden, who comes in to foil things? You get Darkseid-ish in there. And what they did was, this is a flip book, right? You read one side, then you literally flip it over and you read the absolute side. Did you notice that when Darkseid shows up, it's written upside down?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So
it sucks if you're reading it on Comixology or a digital platform because if you turn your screen around, it's going to autocorrect. But that's why you should buy the floppies and support your local comic shop.
That's it.
You can order your actual floppy copy at w.multiverse.shop.
Don't be a Darkseid, be a hero.
And also I like about, because I'm a fan of the Spectre, in here, even if you read it, if you leave it where the Darkseid dialogue is upside down, Jim Corrigan, the Spectre, this is how I'm saying that, because you will tell it to me. I don't know if that ties into how it used to be the Spectre or not.
I think so.
But then you flip over here, and then one room says the Spectre upside down is Darkseid. That's a small tip.
So the
other side, where but I just like that because I was going, will be Darkseid is the Spectre is a question for you read that. So I thought that was, I know they planned this somehow when they're doing all that, but I was like, oh, I caught on to something. I didn't have to have it explained to me like I'm a 4-year-old. So that's kind of nice.
It's that subtle wordplay, like what was it?
Have you stopped beating your wife?
No, the one I was thinking of was, I can't remember his name. He hosts the Crime Alley thing for AMC, the Noir Fest. Anyway, he has a podcast or something, and they were talking about that old TV show, The Prisoner, and he made the comment, which it never occurred to me because I'm thick, that in every episode, right in the beginning of The Prisoner, they tell you who number one is. They reveal the secret because the line is, "Welcome to the village," and that overplaying is, and you hear Patrick McGuinty, who is number one, and the response from that week's number two is always, "You are number 6." But if you add a little punctuation there, what you might get would be, "You are number 6."
Interesting.
Oh, that's clever. I never thought about that. But anyway, carry on.
Too bad we can't get McGowan in here to explain that to him. You know,
I don't think he would.
well, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes things a little difficult, but
I mean, I watched that Dungeon Dragon movie with Christopher Pine. Apparently, there's a way you can bring someone back and you can ask them 5 questions or something. So we could have done that. Well,
anyway, moving forward, sorry.
So Darkseid shows up,
Yes,
and
Darkseid is.
yeah, Darkseid is.
So they're duking it out with Darkseid, right? So they're having their Darkseid battle, and they get these flashes of the other world.
Yep.
And they're calling it the Elseworld. Darkseid comes in. He's missing a hand. He's full Walking Dead.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name? Walking Dead main character.
Oh, Rick.
Rick. He's full Rick with the hatchet attached to his hand, like swinging it in. So this actually takes place sort of in the middle of or just after the events of the Absolute side, right? Because on the Absolute side, we find out how he needs the hatchet for the hand. So he's off doing his thing. And Darkseid's a little new. He's got this Omega. He hasn't always had this suit, right? This is a new suit.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it usually doesn't have that symbol on there. And
No.
Yeah. And the new,
It's all about branding, you see.
so they talk about, in some of the Absolute books, they talk about the Omega Men as a group, like a mythical group, the Omega Men.
Yeah.
And the Absolute side is based on the Darkseid piece. So I think that's going to be something. And leading into the Omega piece of it all with his beams.
Maybe that's what Carl Rayner is.
well, and also,
Maybe this is tying into the Tom King series.
I think he just
the
needs to be
Omega Man.
Ion.
The Omega Man.
oh yeah, the old Omega Man. But right, I mean, I know in Green Lantern right now, Kyle's having some kind of emotional problem. So I mean, that kind of forgives.
Freaking artists.
Yeah,
Every
so-
time. I know.
Yeah,
Is it Omega or Omega? I think in England they say Omega.
Don't say Omega?
No, I think they say
Really?
Omega. Yeah, I think so.
Well, you would know.
There's an episode of Doctor Who with Sylvester McCoy, and he says Omega.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was Omega.
I mean, I guess
Omega.
like I got the Texan in me, Omega.
Omega.
Yeah.
Omega. Is it Zenith or is it Zenith?
Oh, Zenith.
Zenith.
Sure.
It's a TV brand.
Yeah,
I
also
don't
spell-
care
I-
about the horizon, the zenith of that. The
I
zenith
also
of
don't.
that.
You put a U when I write favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
no, neither do I.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
No. The
What?
superfluous you, as
They're everywhere.
Do you think they are? French? Anyway.
Yeah.
We're just
Anyway,
pissing
so-
everybody off in Europe now.
Did somebody have to like rewrite all the comics for them?
No.
No. You just
No.
get things
They
misspelled.
just blame it on us illiterate Americans.
All right,
Let's keep
so
going.
yeah, we're
I see
we're
a
in this
couple
fight.
of jabs on the horizon. We're going to go after the Greeks next.
Yeah, we've hit them all this time. So we're in a fight with the Germans. All of Europe is pretty much pissed. Yeah.
They
so
had it
which-
coming.
Once again, Darkseid. We can make some a pair.
That's- yes,
that's
that's
how,
right.
That's how
There you
Jack
go.
did it. That's
it.
drill down to who Jack thought Darkseid was in the world.
So
Yeah.
Darkseid's trying to get he's basically it's suicide by Justice League.
Yeah, he's like,
is
come
what he's
kill me.
going for.
Just
He's
kill me.
going for. So
That's right.
Darkseid ends.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going for. He wants to be dead. And by killing Darkseid, they have opened up the ability to release his power so that he can create a new universe, which is the Absolute Universe.
Right.
Yeah. They send Booster over and Booster's because
Which backs up that cannon fodder.
Oh.
Nice of this guy. We're going to send him through.
These time travels. I'm a time traveler. I go, no, Michael, don't. Oh, yeah.
Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka. No, stop. Don't.
So Booster goes over, very into this thing. And Darkseid says, finally, I have my army. And we get to the big fold out, flip it over,
Flip it over.
and we're in Absolute Land.
Right.
Absolute Land,
Come with me. and
we
you'll
have
see.
Darkseid, and he's talking about some super dark, black, magic-y kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's basically realized that the tales have been weighted against him. This whole universe is based on Superman and Hope. Its thumbs are on the scale for the good guys, thumbs are on the scale for the bad guys. If there's an Alpha and Omega, he's the Omega, and he's never going to come out ahead. So he needs to create a universe in his own image where Superman has a universe in his image now.
Yes.
So, and by the way, I kind of love that this is a thing because it harkens back to Superman was the first superhero.
Yes.
So all the superhero stuff actually is
Yes.
built on his image. He is the original case. So Darkseid wanted, no, I wanted it to be mine. So he decides to create a brand new universe, and he's doing some crazy black magic-y blood sacrifice kind of stuff.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you. I mean, if you're going to become a god, apparently that's how you do it.
I do enjoy that it's almost like Supervillain Cafe, where there's just over here on this side, close to Apocalypse, we've got, all the Trigon hanging out. We've got Eclipso. And it's not like they're sitting around just sipping wine, having a good time. They all seem to be kind of cool with each other until Darkseid's like, yeah, no, none of y'all. Just start butchering all of them.
I think I think what he says is he looked everywhere for the answers. Like he went like to the depths of hell to figure out what's going on. He went to heaven, and we see our old friend Zariel who was also once the Justice League.
Yeah. Grant Morrison's answer to where the hell was Hawkman back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Zariel as a character. He was a fun character while he lasted. So we see our old friend Zariel, and he gets into a big fight with Darkseid. But apparently Darkseid's going everywhere he can in order to get the answer about how he can kind of come up on top and sort of put together how to create this universe of his own.
Yes.
He's just digging around everywhere. So that's how he ended up with all these.
I find it an interesting premise, because one of the things that I've always found not disappointing, but let's say unsatisfying about Darkseid is that he's supposed to be this sort of ultimate representation of evil, but you only ever really see him when he's dealing with fourth world stuff, or he's decided this is the week I want to go pick a fight with Superman.
Yeah, invade Earth.
Yeah, I'm going to go invade Earth. So, but you don't kind of get the sense of, he is evil. He's David Warner in Time Bandits. He's not, you don't feel that presence everywhere, which seems kind of, like I said, it's kind of an unsatisfying or dissatisfying use of the character. So to find that he's got a whole universe now, which is going to support whatever it is, I'm like, okay, that works. I think that jives. I mean, they kind of took a crack at it with that whole Perpetua thing, and then the dark multiverse, and how many evil Batman can we? I'm not going to bury any more evil Batman. But yeah, so quite like that. I liked the art as well.
I did too.
The contrast between the very clean, yes.
Yeah, the all-in versus
and I liked Darkseid's hand holding Earth, which is reminiscent of Crisis, the Green Lantern origin.
Thing. Yeah.
And then those who connected Scott. It is, because now, once again, DC is going to attempt to do something with one of the two teams that always drives them crazy, and it's a Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
His version. And I can see a lot of dark parallels. I'm naming them off in my head. There's one that I can't remember, I couldn't quite figure it out, but
so there's Evil Boy, Sinister Lass, Ne'er-do-well lad,
Late on my taxes, boy.
Yes, exactly.
All that.
Get off my lawn, lad.
So they did this thing. I was just trying to repiece this together. So Darkseid goes. He's gathering all this information. He's trying to figure out how to get and build this thing. What he really needs is he needs the Spectre. He needs the Spectre's power
to drive this.
In order to create the new universe.
Yes.
But he has to force the Spectre to bond with him. So the thing that he's creating is a miracle machine that will grant him a wish. And this thing that he wishes is to bond with the Spectre. So he's got Jim Corrigan full captured.
Yeah.
Bound. And chained up on Apocalypse, ostensibly. You got the Quintessence, which is, I don't know, Phantom Stranger. You've got Highfather. You've got a Guardian from Oa.
Yeah.
I don't know who these other two are. Oh,
let me see.
Is that?
Oh, okay. So the guy with the big spooky beard, that's probably the wizard Shazam.
Oh, yeah. You got
who's a girl?
The girl with the
leopard
print and the spooky blood. I don't know who that is.
Is that Perpetua? Maybe?
Could be. It could be. I wondered that.
And I just caught I just caught that they went back through and highlighted some of Darkseid's losses. That's representative of the Legion of Superheroes, Great Darkness
Saga here.
Final Crisis.
Yeah.
That's also Final Crisis when what's his name? The Turpin becomes Darkseid. And
Batman gets sick.
Also missed on the big fold out with the Legion. I missed that Darkseid's head is right there. I thought that was a planet.
Oh, yeah, in the middle.
That's cool.
In the middle.
Yeah,
I missed that too.
and that's clean artist with that versus the kind of Kirby-esque.
Yes.
More Giffen, I think. It's also going to be interesting.
Wes Craig does the art there, I think.
Yeah.
And he's kind of got this sort of Kirby, Riley, Rossum kind of
Try to be more dynamic, but yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's Wes Craig too.
Yeah.
It's one of the covers of Absolute Batman is done by Wes Craig also. So yeah, but what I thought was cool is the juxtaposition against the heroes that we read on the one side. We see it from Darkseid's perspective and basically what's happening in his head.
Yeah.
Because he can see he's hearing the Spectre's voice and seeing the Spectre as he goes. And then as he's being defeated, and the other side, we see, oh yeah, now, yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted Darkseid to end.
Yeah.
Then you see him creating this other universe with his juice, with his
Careful.
I don't know.
Where are you going with this, Jason?
I don't know what he's doing to create the old
Darkseid juice.
Darkseid. I don't know what he's doing to create the universe because he's
Full of
dead.
artificial sweeteners.
He's dead, but it's his essence. I don't know.
Jason, come on.
Darkseid's spirit?
Oh, I wondered what you were going to say there.
I don't know. I wasn't going to go too bad. So anyway, so you've got him creating this universe. Then the fold out is our
kids.
evil Legion.
Yes.
Omega Men Legion.
Yes. It's, yeah.
Because they're all wearing the Omega on their chest.
That's right. Yeah. And we talked about this in a previous podcast, that whenever there's an overhaul, the JSA and the Legion of Superheroes both usually kind of get affected the most for reasons. We're getting a new JSA book, which is great.
I've read it.
Oh, you're ahead of the game, man.
Oh man,
That's the
DC
privilege of being the owner. You get to read all the advanced copies.
Yeah, they've been on fire. Like usually you'll get some advances of things they want to promote or something new, but all of the books, all of the all-in books have been promoted this way, and they're pretty good. All right.
But anyway, just say Legion of Superheroes. We don't have them in.
They don't have their own book.
They don't have their own book. And we've kind of been left in limbo with that since the whole Bendis thing ended out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what was it?
Now they're
Gold
gonna be evil.
Lantern?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, I've said it on podcasts. I'll bring it up again. The Justice Society and the Legion of Superheroes.
I just said that.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I was out of the room for a minute.
That's okay.
Always gets it. The new Justice Society is very classic Justice Society.
Good.
It's the art wasn't as strong as it has been in the past. The story was super classic Justice.
Did you read this last Justice Society that just came?
No.
Number
Okay.
12
Yes.
of the John's run.
No, some of you and I speculated on.
Okay.
Todd Knock does the art, and his statement is, "I'm so honored to be the last person to work with Jeff Johns as he says goodbye to DC Comics."
Okay.
Because this was a Courtney issue.
Right.
We all
Okay.
know why that's real near and dear. In one corner, Jack Knight and his daughter. Just a little head nod, which really hoping the rumors are true that there's going to be a Black Label Starman. I keep seeing that.
all over that.
Yeah.
I will. Yes.
That'll give me a reason to do my Starman episode. Butchered. That's fine.
I think we can do that now. I think enough time has passed.
Enough time between the butchering and what? Yeah. Okay. Should have done it any time. I don't know why now. They've got.
Oh no, because we had just done it.
Oh,
so
okay.
to do it again. This is why I don't do multiple performances. It's a one-time only show.
Oh, I do it
I can't
on
repeat myself. It
I
doesn't
have to,
feel
I have to set
real.
myself an automatic pile.
Are you in theater now? Are you stand up? Like, what did that do?
What do you think we're doing here?
Yeah,
man?
yeah. They're going to make a movie about this one day.
Right.
It'll be
Yeah.
the Brit, the Brat, and the other guy, and
think-
there'll be
I think Scott is the Ron White of our troop.
The Ron White?
familiar with the. You don't know the comedians?
Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. You're the closest to Ron White, I think. for a bunch. That's a huge compliment.
I saw Ron White once. I enjoyed seeing him at the Majestic.
There you go. He's one of my favorites. All right. So let's wrap up the all-in talk here.
Yeah.
And next, let's pick up Absolute Batman.
Thank you for joining us on the Multiverse Comics Podcast. If you'd like to meet us in person, you can do that at the Multiverse in Hearst, that's our brick and mortar store. We'd love for you to subscribe with us online. You can do that at multiverse.shop, and we walk you through exactly how to subscribe, or you can pick up any of the books that we've talked about today.